voice a little better than it was last week. Still got a little there, but feel much better than I did last week trying to fight that. I guess we had a good day today on the practice field.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to work on. Bloodstown's throwing a lot of stuff at us and some good formations and good. They did some good things. So we've had a couple days of trying to figure all of it out.
All righty. Well, what we're going to do is take a little break here from one of our sponsors. We're going to go ahead and mention them right quick. Rhodes Jewelers, Cafe Nola, Triangle Chevrolet Buick, Thriftway Supermarket, Southern Owner Services, Merrifield and Pilcher, Doctors Medical Center. Yeah, I scraped my little thing off the end of it somewhere. We never could find it.
Probably laying on the floor somewhere.
It's not the same.
Stadium.
Yeah. This young lady that night from Channel 7, and I had it on when I ran out there, and I figured when I went out there, I bumped it somehow, and it blew across the field or something. So I just let it go. I guess as long as I'm not talking directly into it, it shouldn't be a big problem, I wouldn't think.
1 minute. They had some weird looking play calls they had last week. The coaches, they just looked funny while they were doing it.
Oh, the other side?
Yeah.
Freeport? Yeah.
They waited like last second to like snap every time.
Yeah.
That's because they wanted to shorten the game.
They knew they were in trouble quick, didn't they?
They're bad. Bad.
Kind of had to feel sorry for them. You kind of had to feel sorry for them in some ways, you know. But, you know, it's always, you got to start building somewhere. I mean, what do you say to the coach at Florida State?
You're fired.
I mean, one win right so far? Oh, my Lord.
Same team that went undefeated last year.
And welcome back to Coach's Corner here on WZEP. Coach White was talking about us, said that practice went well today and it's gone well the last few days. Last game of the season looks like for us, right? Coming up this Friday night.
Yes, sir. Last regular season.
So that'll be against Bluntstown. So we encourage everybody to come out. But if you had a chance to be at the game or watched it on YouTube last Friday night as the Braves took on Freeport, it was an unusual game in a lot of ways because we kept noticing that, you know, it was waiting and they kept looking to the coaches for the plays, and they were trying really hard, and the Braves were just a little too much for them.
Yeah, we had a pretty good night. You know, I don't know what to say. You know, we made a lot of mistakes. We were really nonchalant in what we did. Once we went back and looked at the film, we didn't execute very good. We didn't do a lot of things, but we're just, you know, I guess bigger and faster and stronger, and you know, it kind of showed. But you know, them moving up in class is tough when you do it when it's your first year trying to move up in class and all that. But they got a couple good little players that I like that work hard, and you know, I wish them all the best.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's a time they got to build. They got to build their team up and all. But that was one of the things I noticed when, you know, warm-ups on the field, and I was watching them, and I was like, they don't look as big as our guys. And then when our guys came out, and y'all were down on the south end and they were on the north end, and I was looking at the size difference, and I was like, whoa, you know, they got a couple of good-sized boys, but our team seemed to be so much larger, so much faster, and so that's the reason you know, one of the reasons we came out with a win there is that, you know, they were just outplayed and outmanned. Yeah. Our boys were able to manhandle them out there on the defensive side and on the offensive side. I mean, our offensive line was able to make holes, and big holes. You know, even an old guy like me might have been able to run through a couple of those. So I was impressed with, what we did. There was times, like you said, we seemed a little lackluster, like, well, we've got this and kind of like, and I know how you are. You're like, like I am. Do it right. Let's keep doing it right. Let's do it like it should be here. Not get complacent because we could get in a game coming up. I mean, you got one game left. If you go to the playoffs, we can't get complacent there.
No.
You get complacent there, and you're going to be behind.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to try to play catch up, and that's never easy.
Yeah,
it's never easy.
Well, Bluntstown's going to be a total different game. I mean, they're very physical, very fast. Very, very well coached football team. Got two really good running backs. Play tough defense. Got good linebackers. It's going to be a very, very tough challenge.
So that's all coming up this Friday night. So as far as playoffs coming up, will we not know till say after this Friday night who we might face in the playoffs?
Well, yeah, we won't know. They've extended the season a week, and they'll have some games even going up until November the 7th, which is that Thursday night. So you really won't know anything until about the 9th of November, that Saturday. Kind of get an idea, but you don't really know anything because there's going to be some more games still being played.
So names to throw out there could be Catholic or maybe Bowles out of Jacksonville.
Pensacola Catholic, Jacksonville Bowles, Gaston County, Mariana. One of them four.
One of them four. Oh my goodness. So that'll be maybe some travel time for all of us because I guess we'll have to travel.
Yes, sir. We will
probably on that first game, right?
Definitely be traveling.
So that's what you got to look forward to, Braves fans out there. That's coming up, and of course that'll be the playoffs, and we'll talk more about that, hopefully next week. And of course we'll be watching some of the games that's going on Friday night besides ours that we can get a hold of and mention to the folks while we're on YouTube and all and on ZEP. Try to keep you informed just to know where we're at, what's happening to the teams we may have to face. We face Catholic, we face Mariana, and we know both of what those are about. And I know Coach is instilled in those boys. Listen, you know what happened both times. We've got to go out there and play our hearts, not from when that whistle blows that first kickoff there, all the way to that last whistle blows and that horn on the end goes. That's the end of the game. We're going to have to put all of our focus there, in the playoffs. But we're going to have to do it this Friday night, too, against Bluntstown.
Yeah, Bluntstown is a very good football team. They've won several in a row now. And like I said, they do a very good job. It's going to be a very, very, very tough challenge for the Braves.
Well, as we look back to last Friday night against Freeport, you mentioned that we kind of were like, some of us, seem to think a little lackluster here in spots. But on the offensive side, Wells looked well. He was able to pick apart the Freeport defense out there pretty well. And he was able to run a few times on them and get into the end zone. But who else, besides Sampson and
Dylan Lutham is a 10th grade running back we have. He scored 3 touchdowns. He finally got his chance to run the ball a little bit with Peyton being out. So Dylan Lutham had a very good night, scoring 3 touchdowns. Drayden Bimbo, he run a punt back. Brady Sampson was able to catch a touchdown. Offensive line did a very good job. It was pretty much by committee except for our upcoming sophomore running back. Had a great night.
Yeah, they looked really good. Unusual thing happened Friday night was the fumbling of that and Kale catching the ball there and getting in the end zone. I couldn't see his daddy because his daddy was right off from where I could see. I was waiting to see what his dad's reaction was, and I didn't catch it like I wanted to because his dad's name is TJ. My oldest son is TJ. They both work for the Budweiser company, Lewis Bear. And so it's always, we kind of had a little thing about that over the years, them working together.
The right place at the right time. So Witten West was actually throwing a ball to Izzy Thomas. Yeah. But he missed it and dropped it, and Kale kind of had to be in the right place, and it bounced right in there to it for a touchdown.
And boy, he scooted right in there, and I was proud for him. I think that did him well. I know I can't remember which game it is. They threw a pass to him, and it was in his hands, and he dropped it, and y'all pulled him off, and he was on the sidelines, and I kept looking down there off and on. You could just see he was going over it in his mind again and again. Why did I drop it? Why did I
Yeah,
drop
he
it?
dropped one Friday night. He dropped one out in the flats wide open. So
Yeah.
it was good for him to. It
To
was
get
good for
that.
him to make a catch.
Yeah, and to be alert enough to see that.
And he's a
And-
first-year player as well. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the first time he's ever played football. He's going to be a good one. He's going to be a real good football player next year.
Yeah, I think so. I think you've got several young ones coming along that's going to look good next year for us. On the defensive side,
Like I said, it was, we just didn't execute very good. We was, kind of running around. I mean, we gave up one score. Other than that, we kind of held them to nothing. But I mean, we just did some things that just wasn't very sound, But we're working on that this week and trying to get better at it and making sure we're in the right places. We didn't give up no big touchdowns or nothing like that. But overall, it was just not what we expected.
and now they weren't as sharp as they were the week before to me on the defensive side, like you said. But this coming Friday night, they better have it together, right?
It's going to be very tested. Yes, sir.
Very testing.
Yeah.
So y'all want to see a good high school football game on a Friday night, go ahead and get your plans made. It'll be 7 p.m. It'll be kickoff, and it'll be out at Yates Memorial Field here. Excuse me, in beautiful Defuniak Springs. And we look forward to having a big crowd. Had a great crowd. Of course, we had last Friday night. They inducted to the Sports Hall of Fame and all, so we had that. And then, of course, King and Queen there, and one of the football players was able to wear that crown off the field there for just a little bit before he had to put that helmet back on his head. And I tell you, it was a nice thing, and I love the ROTC with the Sabres and all. It was really nice. And of course, on both ends of the field, y'all had seating set up, and there was people everywhere. Not as big a crowd as I would have thought from Freeport. I thought that maybe a little bit more folks would have showed up, just to support them. When a team's down, that's when you find out who your true fans are.
Yeah.
Who's going to show up for you and root you no matter what.
And they're going to probably win this Friday night. They're going to end up with a 5-5 record, which is
That's
very
decent.
good. That's very good, and especially playing up in class. How
Yeah.
they've had to move up, but they do some good things. And like I said, they just playing up some of us bigger schools that's been there for a while now. It's tough on them,
Yeah, we've been in that boat too. We went to some of them bigger schools, and we know what it's like to have to face some of those when you got a lot more students to choose from, and it does make a difference. It makes a lot of difference. Well, we're going to take another break here for about 2 minutes, and we'll come back with more Coach's Corner here on WZEP.
All right. They sound good. They sound good, Gary. Okay.
So this mic working okay?
I guess so. I can hear. So I guess so.
You can't hear?
Which one? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about
It's one that I had somehow was laying around and the end of it was off, and so I fixed it, put it back. I didn't know I brought it tonight to see if it would work along with the rest of them. It's different a little bit. It looks more like that one, really. I don't think it's as fat though. Well, these are all mics I inherited from someone, so he actually gave me a whole bunch of equipment. And then Tommy Mitchell, and then I don't know, 4 months after that, he ends up dying. Young guy,
1 minute.
good kid. I like Tommy. Tommy, good guy. But he wanted, make sure they were used. And I said, well, I'll use them. That's for sure. So what are
Egg
you?
rolls. They had some left there for the catering.
Egg rolls.
They're bougie in egg rolls, so
They're actually good.
they're a little cold, they're a little soggy,
Yeah, but when they're fresh, they actually taste good.
but still eat them. Fit. 5.
And welcome back to Coach's Corner. Before we talk to Coach again, he has a big bowl of gumbo tonight. I have the smaller bowl of gumbo. We both still have gumbo left. Of course, we started on it a little late. So if y'all folks on there, YouTube see us, yeah, we got gumbo here. And I always want to mention that. And I found something out there with Ernie. So I'll throw this out to the folks out there. This is a little flyer that Ernie's got. It says, fall is here and so is inflation. So Chef Ernie is kicking off Cafe Nola's early dinner specials from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Buy any pasta, seafood platter, or entree and get one of equal or less value half off. So now you really have a reason to cruise to downtown to Funiac for a great meal and even greater deal. And he says on there, I'll see you there, baby. Yee, as he would say. For reservations, call 850-610-8800. Chef Ernie Cafe Nola. So it's a pretty good deal there.
Yep.
Get half off. So that's a 2 to 6 p.m. here at Cafe Nola. So come on out and see them all. Put them to work and enjoy some gumbo while you're here. Well, Coach, Friday night I'll be here quickly. And anything you'd like to pass along to the listeners and viewers that we have tonight?
Well, it's senior night. You know, it's our last regular season home game. You know, these seniors have done a tremendous job. It's kind of like the group. It is the group that I started with because this will be my 4th year. You know, and regular season. You know, these guys have lost one regular season game in 4 years on that field.
Wow.
They're 19-1 on that field. If you count the playoffs included, they're 20-2. And if it's 20-3, I'm sorry. And if you count preseason kickoff classics and all that, they're 22-3. So, you know, these seniors have done a tremendous job on that field. You know, this year they hadn't lost a game on that field, you know, and so hopefully they can continue that. But we're going to honor the 24 seniors Friday night. Start about 6:40 with their parents and loved ones and whoever they want to bring out. And we'll give them a time and honor them for, you know, right before kickoff. But, you know, it's been a tremendous run for this group of freshmen that I started with. And, you know, I can't be more prouder than a group of guys that I've spent these last 4 years with.
So you've had 4 years to spend with these young men. And so Friday night, y'all come out. And that's big salute to the seniors that's playing in their last year. And I can look over at Joseph and say, you know, time passed quicker than you thought. And I know Joseph has, even since he graduated last year, he's come to me and he says, I just don't know how that time passed so quick. And these young men will be doing the same thing that Joseph is within the 6-7 months from now. They'll be standing back going, man, I wished I was back there with Coach White, you know, playing some football. But, you know, that's how life is. We move forward. Our kids grow up. So come and be a part of that. Come out and let's salute those seniors and salute the Braves as they take on Bluntstown. It's going to be a hard game. We're going to need that extra player in the stands there. We're going to need you hollering and screaming and carrying on and rooting for the boys. I mean, that's what it takes. Coach White, as we always say, we appreciate all the work that you and your coaches do. And I noticed something a while ago on my Facebook before we got started there. They were saluting your principal today on there. And she is a fine young lady. And I mean, you know, it was like last Friday night, I think it was Friday night when there was an injury on the field for Freeport. I saw y'all's trainer and her hit the field before everybody else was. And I made me proud. I said, look, you know, our side is out there going to help this young man from the other side. And that just speaks a lot to me. And I know how she is with all these students because she used to call our house, tell us what was going on with Joseph, what could she do to help, or, you know, when we had wreck and we were having problems, she would call us almost every day. And, you know, a lady like that, that's a principal that knows all these kids by name. If you stand and watch, she just calls them all by name. You've got to be impressed by that. And it's just like you guys with handling the ball players. You know, we've got special people in our school system. And I'll always like to say thanks because I still have grandkids in the school system. I have 3 right now. Next year, I'll just have 2. But, you know, I appreciate what y'all do in the athletic department and along with, you know, administration there at Walton High School. And, of course, with Russell Hughes and all that he does all the way from kindergarten, or actually Wise before they get into kindergarten, all the way up over into the technical school over here, our technical college. So it's a great bunch of folks, and we want to say thanks once again. We always like to do that at the end of the show here because we appreciate what y'all do, and it does make an influence on these young people and what they carry from this point on in their lives to the rest of their lives, and it's important.
Yes, sir.
You know, as you get older, like I am, you look back on it. I can think back right now, some of the teachers that made an impact on me, and one of my coaches. I think about him often, Coach Catron. He was mean and he was tough, but you know, when you look back and I think about him sometimes when he'd be mean to us, he'd have this little grin on his face, and you knew he was trying to toughen us up for life. But I knew that, you know what, he cared for us.
Yeah.
He really cared for us, even though he came off as this, you know. And he was a Marine, and in the summertime during the breaks, he'd go back to Paris Island to do the recruits, and he was so. We had Marine as a coach, one of our coaches, and he was tough on us. But you know what? I'm glad he was. That's probably the reason I'm still alive today, because he was tough on us back then. So thanks once again to all that you do at Walton High School for the athletic program, for these young men, and of course to all the folks that work in the school system of Walton County. We're going to say go Braves.
Go Braves.
Friday night, we want to see you right there at Yates Memorial Field as Bluntstown comes to town, and we're going to need your help to get the Braves at that win at the end of the game so we can all yell and scream and have a good time. So till Friday night, no, I don't know what time, maybe 6:45. We might try to come on so we can catch the seniors getting that. Might have to move a program up a little bit there that we have, but we'll see you guys then. Till then, y'all keep yelling for the Braves, and y'all have a blessed evening, blessed week, and until Friday night. Coach, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you, folks, that's on listening to us on ZEP and those on YouTube. We look forward to seeing you soon. And go vote.
Yeah.
All right, Gary.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, brother. Appreciate
You
it.
gone? Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm gone. I'm gonna go try to find me a little medicine and try to get a little rest.
We didn't take it.
Yeah, we ended up getting antibiotics. You know, I don't know if it's helped a lot. I think it's helped some.
It helped me a lot.
I think it